Okay. Can you state your name, please?
Keisa Wiley.
Alright, and give us your background.
I am a school teacher here in Jacksonville, Florida. I work with an alternative education program for students who have dropped out of school and want to come back and earn their high school diploma. I am originally from Orlando, Florida, the tourist capital of the world. And I've been here for about, how long have I been here? 2003, about 13 years. Been here about 13 years via the military
So
with my husband.
You're a transplant.
Yes, I am a transplant here in Duval County.
So how does Jacksonville compare to other places that you've lived?
Compared to other places that I live, being that I grew up in the tourist capital of the world, it has been a bit of a culture shock for me being here in Jacksonville and not always having things to do or places to go. And the culture and the level of, how can I say it, education is a bit different from what I'm used to.
What are some things that you like about Jacksonville?
What do I like about Jacksonville?
You don't have to lie either.
The area beaches are nice. There are some things here that are pretty historic, such as the Timaquan Preserve, the Kingsley Plantation, and being close to St. Augustine, the oldest city in the U.S. Those things are enjoyable, especially being that I'm a history buff and I am a social studies teacher, so I do enjoy the historic value that's here in Jacksonville.
When you think about Jacksonville, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Because I know it's different for a lot of people because there are so many, I guess, like many regions of Jacksonville. Like you have the north side, the west side, the beaches, and so on. So what is it to you?
Jacksonville to me is the place of my home right now, but overall it's a little different. I tend to think of it as being a little country compared to other places that I've lived.
So rural.
A little, yeah, rural is a good word. Yes, that's what I would say. Even though it's the biggest city land-wise in the U.S., it's a little hick for me.
Okay, I'm going to mention some of the regions of Jacksonville. We're going to do word association, and I want you to say the first word that comes to mind.
Okay.
Okay, north side.
The airport.
Boring. Okay, west side.
Hicksville.
Okay, beaches.
Fun in the sun.
Arlington.
It depends on which region of
Well, I know
Arlington.
We're in East Arlington.
We're in East Arlington, and I think of what I'm pretty much used to as far as living and home life. But when I think of the other half of Arlington, I think of crime and I'm scared. Can I add something to that? I think that the other part of Arlington can be rebuilt and could be a thriving community. I think that it just needs to be invested in.
If you didn't live in Jacksonville, where would you want to live? Based only on places you've lived in previously, which would include Puerto Rico, Virginia, Orlando, Jacksonville.
Puerto Rico.
Why Puerto Rico? What about Puerto Rico is different from Jacksonville?
Puerto Rico, it's more, in my opinion, culturally diverse. Even though it's diverse here, people seem to be more friendly in Puerto Rico, and the beaches are nice, the shopping is nice, and I just love the island life. And it was my first time experiencing being around mountains and a rainforest. So that is why.
Where would you rank Jacksonville out of the list of places that you've lived?
Maybe, probably, honestly, at the bottom of the list.
Why?
Because I feel that Jacksonville is a little behind as far as the culture and education wise. I think they need to play some catch up. I do think they're a little behind, and it's causing the overall lack of education.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Wiley. I think we're done here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You gotta do a thumbs up.